So let's talk retail training. When you really look at it, how effective are the methods most companies are using right now, especially with the market changing so fast? A lot of folks, maybe even you, are still leaning on, well, let's call them traditional formats. But are we really checking if they work? Today on the deep dive, we're diving into a pretty compelling argument from Multimedia Plus. You probably know the name. They're making this strong case about why cartoon style animations might actually be missing the mark in retail training and why real video is, well, turning out to be way more powerful. We'll even touch on platforms like Insight, which I know many of you use, and how they fit into this. Our mission really is to unpack what Multimedia Plus is saying, go a bit deeper. What does this actually mean for you as a retail exec? Thinking about things like brand alignment, keeping your associates, and, overall store performance. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's break down this main issue. It's everywhere, right? Companies using cartoon animations for training. But Multimedia Plus argues pretty forcefully that this approach is often just out of sync with the actual brand experience you're trying to create. I mean, unless your brand is genuinely built around animation or maybe aimed squarely at kids, it creates this sort of jarring disconnect. Think about it if you run, say, a high-end luxury store, a really sophisticated experience, and the training looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh,
What's that telling your team about professionalism? And it's not just about how it looks on the surface. Your retail associates, like pretty much everyone now, they live in a video-first world.
oh,
Their social media, entertainment, how they learn stuff online, it's all video. Mostly real people, real situations. So when their work training shows up with avatars, maybe exaggerated scenarios, it just immediately feels disconnected. It doesn't feel like the real important information they consume everywhere else.
yeah. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how that specific feeling of disconnection hits attention spans and, critically, retention. You lose them. Multimedia Plus points out something interesting. Cartoons might simplify things, make it seem easy, but they can actually reduce credibility, almost paradoxically. Like you said, imagine training for a complex tech product using a cartoon character. It subtly, maybe unintentionally, downplays the seriousness, the expertise needed, that lack of authenticity. It chips away at engagement. Associates might feel the training isn't quite serious enough for their actual complex job. It's just so crucial that the training feels grounded in the associate's day-to-day experience. That's the key for making it stick, making it effective. They need to hear the language they use, see environments that look like their store, understand the customer expectations you actually have. Cartoons, well, they abstract all that, don't they? It can make associates feel like, okay, this isn't really for me, not for my specific store, my specific challenges. If they don't see their reality reflected, why would they internalize it?
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting and maybe busts a myth some execs might have about video training. The solution Multimedia Plus is talking about. It's not necessarily about hiring film crews for big, expensive live action shoots. They're very clear. Real video today doesn't always mean physically filmed content. And that really opens things up, especially if cost or logistics were barriers before. So, what does real video look like now? It's actually pretty diverse. It could be AI generated visuals, sophisticated AI avatars speaking with your brand's voice, maybe in digital settings that look just like your stores. But it also includes things like remote filming. This is huge. Your own people, top sellers, managers contributing real content from their locations, using their phones sometimes. And then you combine all that using smart editing tools. You get professional results without that massive traditional production headache. It's much more agile.
That's a great point. And connecting that to the bigger picture, the absolute core insight from Multimedia Plus isn't how it was made, filmed, AI, whatever. The key question is, does it feel real and relevant to the associate watching it? That's the litmus test. These newer tools, they genuinely let brands, even huge ones with thousands of stores, create high-quality training video that's fast, flexible, and cost-effective. It sort of democratizes, creating really impactful, authentic content. You can react faster to new products, market shifts, get relevant info out quickly without waiting months for a big production.
Okay, so we've got this shift towards real video, enabled by new tech. What does this actually mean for store performance? Why should a retail leader really care about this shift?
Right, that's the bottom line question. How does this real video actually grab people, make the learning stick, and, lead to better results on the floor? Multimedia Plus highlights a few key things. It directly models the behavior you want to see, it reinforces the right brand tone, and it aligns the internal culture with the customer experience. Think about a specific product demo showing exactly how to sell that key feature. or handling a tricky customer return with real empathy shown, or even just a visual merchandising guide step by step. Realistic video gives that context. It shows the ideal way. It doesn't just tell. That kind of learning is just stickier, more memorable, and way more actionable for associates because it looks like their world.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also about meeting them where they are, isn't it? Making training feel as current as everything else they interact with. Your teams are already consuming stuff that looks like training every single day on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, quick tips, how-tos, insights. They're learning constantly in this short, focused human video format. And Multimedia Plus really hammers this point. If your internal training doesn't have that same feel short, clear, direct, real, it risks being seen as outdated or out of touch. Associates, especially younger ones, want immediate, applicable insight. They want the why just as much as the how. Why this product? Why this process? Video is just uniquely good at delivering that whole picture quickly, memorably, in the format they already prefer.
And there's another layer here, which is fascinating how this real video approach actually strengthens your brand from the inside. Your training shouldn't feel separate. It should feel like just another part of the overall store experience, consistent, intentional, visually aligned with everything else you do. It's culture building. Imagine your brand is all about vibrant personal service. If the training videos consistently show real associates nailing that vibe in real store situations, that reinforces it constantly. So using real video consistently, it helps embed your brand's tone, your environment. It builds internal culture and sharpens customer-facing performance. Massively important. And when the content feels like it's theirs, it reflects their world, maybe even features people they know, embodies their brand. Multimedia Plus says it significantly increases engagement and ownership. Training stops being just a task they have to do. It becomes part of their professional identity. They're more invested in living up to those standards because they see it demonstrated authentically.
Okay, so this shift to real video is powerful, and it gets even more practical when you bring in modern platforms. This is where something like Insight comes into play, which, again, many of you are probably familiar with. Multimedia Plus points out how platforms like Insight do more than just, push content out. They actually elevate the whole training function for retail. Specifically, Insight focuses on delivering mobile-first training video to every associate, right there in their pocket. Which means training is there when and where they need it. Maybe a quiet moment on the floor, on their commute, whatever. It fits how they use their devices already, removes that friction. It's bringing the learning to them, not making them chase it down.
Exactly. And beyond just easy delivery, Insight offers these smarter, data-driven tools that give you real, measurable results. It lets you track engagement precisely. You see who watched what, not just who clicked play, but who finished, how they interacted. That's key. But then it goes further. You get embedded knowledge checks to actually assess comprehension, giving immediate feedback to the associate and, crucially, data back to you. And maybe the most powerful part, it lets you use data to drive coaching all in real time. For retail leaders, that's huge. You get insights into effectiveness now, not 3 months later. You can see who needs help, where the message isn't landing, and intervene quickly. And that real-time data, combined with how flexible video is, allows for incredible tailoring. Multimedia Plus is spot on. Retail is too fast and too complex for one-size-fits-all training. It just is. You've got different regions, products, customer types, constant new campaigns. Video, through platforms like Insight, lets you customize messages fast, target specific roles, regions, even individuals who need a specific skill boost. You're not just blasting everyone with the same thing. You're personalizing learning at scale, making sure it's relevant, timely, and delivered in a way that actually works.
So wrapping this up, the core takeaway from Multimedia Plus seems pretty clear, and it definitely makes you think. Cartoon-style content may grab attention, but it doesn't build confidence. It might be easy, but it doesn't deliver where it counts.
Right. And the power of real video, whether it's filmed in your store with your team or generated smartly with AI, it's modern, scalable, and above all, relevant. Relevant to your associates, relevant to your brand, relevant to your customers.
So thinking about everything we've discussed, all these insights on moving from maybe generic animation to authentic, real video, how could embracing that strategy truly change your brand, your internal culture, your customer experience, maybe even your bottom line? Something definitely worth considering.